The new roadkill looks sick though. Anyone want to come watch it with me tonight?
I mean, not really. Last one was alright, but since then.
I don't even know how they're bringing him back. I mean, he got his head chopped off in the third one. What did they do? Sew it back together again and he's all right?
I'd go with you, but my daddy gave me a tenner and I've already spent 5 of it on the bus.
I can pay for it if you want. I've got enough.
I mean, yeah, sure. If you don't mind.
Idiot.
How come you got here so quick?
I was with my mates on a drive. They dropped me off here.
What mates?
Yeah, why are you mates? None of us have a car.
I do have other friends, you know.
Do you?
What you been up to anyway, Kian?
You should ask our Millie.
What?
I saw our Millie going into her house with a lad. So I'm assuming new boyfriend?
Ew. That would be Ethan.
Ooh, Ethan!
My older brother, Ethan.
Oh, sorry, Mills. I didn't know you had an older brother. Where have you been hiding him?
Just stop, Kian.
It's fine, guys. Ethan hasn't really left the house in a while, but they've dropped the charges now, so he's getting out a bit more. Mum's convinced him to get a job as well.
Oh, good on him.
Why have I never heard of this?
It was really bad before you moved here, so I guess you just missed the worst of it.
Are you comfortable telling us about it?
Ethan's a year older than me.
Ethan's a year older than me. We were fighting one minute, then best pals the next. He did look after me like he said a big brother should. I knew he always had my back if I ever needed him.
See you later, Mom. See you later, darling. Bye, get me later. Right, see, hey.
When Dad left, I thought it might bring us even closer together, but it kind of went the other way. And Ethan just wanted to hang out with his mates all the time. I didn't mind, but I did notice he was changing.
Ethan.
I don't know what happened, but he fell out with them over something and didn't deal with it very well. Mum was worried he was becoming a bit of a loner and spending all his time in his room gaming, so she was relieved when he met a new mate, Connor. Connor went to a different school and they'd met online. With him came a new group of friends. They'd pick him up in their cars, and although Mum wasn't too keen, he promised us he'd keep his location on and let us know if he'd be coming home late. That was fine at first, but we hardly ever saw him. When he got home, if he ever came home, he went straight up to his room. Mum started asking if I knew anything about Ethan's new friends. She'd heard rumours about him being seen with older people. She asked if I could see his location because he turned it off for her, but I couldn't either. I knew even less than she did.
Keeping track, please. He's disappearing in God knows what time, in cars that we've never seen before. Do you know the people?
Asking him questions only made him more secretive. He stopped coming home, started disappearing in the middle of the night. Teachers called Mum about him not attending school and the new attitude when he did turn up. I tried my best to keep out of it and had my own stuff going on, but people at school were saying that my brother's a dealer. Some joked about it, others acted like they were scared of me. Some even asked if I could get them something. I was thinking of telling Mum, and then the school beat me to it. They said they had a zero tolerance rule on drugs, and before we even knew what was fully going on, Ethan was expelled. That's when there was no kidding ourselves that it was just a phase. Something seriously bad was going on.
Why am I only just finding out about this?
Yeah, I remember that. My mum and dad were a bit unsure about me hanging around with you.
Maybe they were worried you'd start using. Wouldn't be far wrong.
They didn't think that now, of course.
This is why we stopped hanging out at yours, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just didn't want you guys to see him like that. I was embarrassed. I never really let anyone know how deep it got.
I doubt him being kicked out of school made things any better.
Definitely not.
He was like a shell of who he used to be. He didn't even eat or wash, but as soon as the phone rang, he was up and out the door.
Who is it, Ethan? Ethan, just tell me who it is. Ethan. Ethan, just tell me who's on the phone. Okay. Ethan. What is going on? Who's calling?
Mum, where's
Ethan,
my bag?
What is going on?
Mum, where's my bag?
Just tell me who keeps ringing.
Where's my bag?
No, not tonight. You are not leaving this house. What is in that bag?
She wouldn't understand.
Just tell me, Ethan.
Mum.
No.
Mum, you've got to let me go.
No, I am
Mum,
not letting
Mum,
you leave
Mum,
the house.
You need to let me leave.
No,
Mum,
no,
move. Out
no,
the way. Mum,
no.
out of the way.
Lisa.
No one knew what he was doing or selling. Mum went between, like, keeping things from me and making out that everything was okay to actually telling me things. I just don't think she had anyone else she could talk to who wouldn't judge her or, I don't know. I don't think she told me everything though.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know the full story, but I know they came to the house, threatened Mum on the doorstep, and she had to give them money. She became super protective over me after that.
Oh God. You never told me any of this.
How long did it happen for?
It started when I went into year 9, and it was at its worst for a couple of years.
That's so rough, Mills.
Social services were involved. They explained to Mum that Ethan was being criminally exploited.
Pass it.
They said his friend Connor was known to them and he had been exploited himself. They said that the group probably got Connor to recruit someone like Ethan, how he'd found him online, befriended him, found how unhappy he was. It was like a way of brainwashing him into part of a new way of living and new friends that were better and more grown up. How he didn't need his mates from school, how they were little kids and he was better off with them. Then there were the drugs, probably given for free at first, and then he'd be addicted and left owing. Living this way, selling drugs to repay his debt, but also to prove he was a part of a group. Sad thing is, Ethan will have really believed that this was all a good thing, but when they've got you where they want you, you're trapped, and all your choices are taken away from you.
How is that fair?
I'm down 600 quid because of you.
It's not even my fault.
You're saying it's my fault?
I did everything you asked me to.
Ethan, mate, it's up to you to pay it back. It is what it is.
You should listen to your mate, Ethan.
Just to show that we're not acting like
He was changing. The cockiness went away and was replaced by fear. He was out more and more, dealing and doing whatever they told him to. The police came around again, and this time, he was arrested.
It's the police. Can you open up, please?
Mum did everything she could to fight for him. Worked with solicitors, social workers, police, just to prove that even though he'd made mistakes, he was still a victim here. He hid in the house for 6 months. We told everyone, friends, family, that he'd moved away, but he was actually hiding in the house. I even lied to you. I'm sorry.
Hey, you have nothing to be sorry for, silly.
I'm not being funny, but if he was dealing for all those years, how did he not go to jail?
Honestly, we thought he might have to, but he went through something called the National Referral Mechanism, and they said he was legally recognised as an exploited child.
Bit like a get out of jail free card then.
You wouldn't be saying that if you knew what he went through.
What did they do to him?
I promise, I didn't tell her shit.
So why is she talking to that lot?
What are you?
Oh, what?
Talking to the pig!
Of course I am. I swear.
You swear on that sister of yours?
She has nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we can come up with a way to make her pay for all the deals her stupid brother missed.
Maybe we get someone to pay your mum a visit in the middle of the night as well.
I know there were times where he thought he might die, but I think there were things that scared him even more. Things that we'll probably never know about.
Groups like that know what they're doing. I mean, they look for people who they know will make them the most money. People who are vulnerable in some way. But it happens to boys, girls, people from every background. People like the idea of being in a group. It sounds exciting to them, but when they're in it, it's really hard to get out. Their choices get taken away from them.
How come you know so much about this?
Because I listen in form. Some people have no choice but to get involved. Their families force them into it. Others just hang around with the wrong crowd. Older friends, maybe.
At least Ethan's got his life back.
I'm really proud of him. He can still be a dick, but he's getting on really well with his apprenticeship, and I think he can actually see that he's going to get his life back. Even ask how our days have been. Ask about you guys too.
Yeah, well, it's lucky I had you and your mum there.
Mum was amazing. Even after all she's done to keep us safe, people still think we're a dodgy family. I mean, Mum's even been told to her face that she's a crap mum, which is so untrue. But it's crazy how she coped with it all. I'm so glad I've told you guys about it.
What should we say to Ethan if we see him? I wouldn't want to say the wrong thing.
Just be normal. Ask about his apprenticeship, how the game went, I don't know, just normal things.
Ask him about Roadkill. If it's still worth watching after the first one.
Yeah, who's going tonight then?
I'm still up for it.
Yeah, not us.
Sorry mate, I'm busy.
I guess it's just the two of us then.
I much prefer rom-coms anyway.
Try not to get scared someone like you did earlier.
Shut up, Ian.
So yeah, what are you going to get? Food-wise, popcorn?
Salt popcorn with...
Yeah, I don't like sweet.
No. Sweet and salty. Sweet and salty.
That is